what is human freedom? God has given us human beings freedom. Think about it. God's completely free, and he, in his own freedom, created us. He didn't have to. He chose to. Did it out of love. And he made us in his image and likeness, so we too are free. And this is important. We're not little robots or puppets of God. We're not dominated by fate, that we have no choice. God made us free so we could be like him, and also that we could choose to love God or not. And you can't love without freedom. You know, if you enslave somebody or you have a robot you program, you know, that's not love. Love is always a free choice. So that's our great gift as human beings, is this great freedom. And the thing is we can have more or less of it, and it's not just an on-off thing. We all know that in life sometimes we are not free. Like, you probably have to go to school and do what your parents say, and but also there's interior things that, can we just be who we want to be, or are we afraid to do that? Are there pressures? So freedom is something we can grow in or lose in a way. But we always grow in freedom when we do what is good, when we do what God asks, and we lose freedom when we don't do that. So freedom is misunderstood. Often we think freedom is, I can just do whatever I want. But if you do that, you're going to end up less free. So let me explain. Here I got my prop. I got my little Ferrari here, and suppose this is real. This is real. Like, this is enormous. This is a real car, and you know, gas is really expensive right now because of Russia, and they're not, talk about misuse of freedom to go invade another country. Is Russia free to do that? We'd say no. But anyways, gas is really expensive, and I want to fill up my whatever this is, my Ferrari, with gas, because I want to be free to cruise around. And so say Ferrari, there's a user manual in the tiny little glove compartment here, and I look at my user manual, and it says, yeah, you got to put in premium gas for the Ferrari. And I think, well, who does Ferrari think they are? Why would they, they don't know. I don't need to listen to them. I'm free to drive my Ferrari, do what I want, and gas is expensive, especially premium gas. So you know what? I think, I can put something cheaper in instead of gas. I'm going to get some water, but maybe water's not good enough. We'll put a little sugar, some Kool-Aid in this. It's cheap. It's like 10 cents a gallon. I'm going to put that in my Ferrari, and because I'm free to do what I want. Well, if I did that, how free am I going to be in the end? My Ferrari is going to be kaput, and I'm not going to be going anywhere. And that's the same with us. When we really misuse our freedom and we choose to do what's harmful for us, we don't listen to the owner's manual of God. God knows us. He knows what's good for us. And when we sin and go against God, what we find is we just don't go anywhere. We get stuck. We talk about addiction. A lot of sins are out of addiction. There's fear, attachments, all these things. You see it in Adam and Eve. They were free, and God had said, you can eat all the fruit of the garden, but don't eat that fruit. I guess they had a freedom that they could do it. There was a choice there. But once they did it, look at it. Death enters the world. They realized they were naked. They became ashamed of it. Is that freedom? Now they had to cover themselves, hide. How many times in our lives do we're not who we want to be because we're living for other people, what they want, or what I want to look good to them, or I'm afraid, or we don't feel free. And then, envy, all these things came into the world. So freedom is always to do God's will. Freedom is not just, there's freedom from and there's freedom for. Freedom from things that enslave us. But what is the freedom for? It's really to to do good and excellence. Another way to think of freedom is like the English language. Can I just start slapping freely any words together? And no, I have to follow certain rules of English. And when I follow these rules, and the better I follow them, more correct my English is. And when I write that way, the better I communicate, the better you understand me. And it can be beautiful when we use the English language in like really good speech. That's not good. That's not right. When in beautiful speech. And that's the same with the gift God has given us and the whole moral life. We have freedom to lift it up and do beautiful things, or we can do what we want, but it's just we're going to be less free and not be able to do what we want. Think of like golf as well, another example. You're free to go up there and just whack at the ball, do whatever you want, but if you follow the rules, the mechanics and all that, suddenly you're getting a 300-yard drive, or not me, but maybe you could do something like that. So it's the same with God and the gift God's given us. Freedom's a beautiful gift. We want to grow in it, but it's always freedom for the good, for God, and not just to do whatever we want, to sin. All right, so human freedom, let's live it. Jesus said, the truth will set you free.